The toddler fell asleep too, so we became more quiet, ignoring me trying to poke it for fun. So I posted a community post saying that I was off traveling and asked people to guess where, and the hint I gave was that it was in East Asia. Vietnam. Probably China to meet your family. I am Malaysian. Vietnam. Singapore. What is up, axolots? It's me, yeah boy, Faline. So I didn't post for 3 weeks, which is quite a record for me, and here's my apology for it. I'm sorry. But I have a good reason, okay? For the past week, I have been stranded in an unknown location that no one has ever heard before. Just kidding, I went to Taiwan! Hooray! And I don't know why I lied about that, because in all honesty, some people asked me if Malaysia was inside Taiwan. I've actually went there once before when I was 13 years old. It was still going to be a new experience, however, because coincidentally, I erased all memories of myself when I was at that age. Because puberty was a thing. But last week, me and my family decided to go there. So I'm forcefully taking you too and shoving you onto the plane with me. So on Friday, a day after my final exams had ended and college was officially over, I went to watch Barbie with my friends before my parents swooped in to collect me into my nest. We stayed the night at my relative's house that was closer to the airport. Here's me attempting to intimidate you all with my sleeping kit. I made sure to download some stuff to watch on the flight since it was 5 hours long, so naturally I gravitated to only what the best of cinema has to offer. 11th episode of Hell's Kitchen Season 19, Corpse Bride, and Barbie Life in the Dream House, the three genders of mankind. Guys, I gotta admit something, I gotta confess, you know. I have a hyperfixation on Gordon Ramsay. I am not well. I've had this since I was 14. I need to be baptized. Something about this Scottish man yelling at people just does it for me. It fills me with so much dopamine. Like, yes, yell at them about halibut more. If I'm not watching Gordon Ramsay, I can't get anything done. Just hold on. I love Gordon Ramsay. Anyways, at the ass crack of 5 AM, we had to get ready and head to the airport. Here's my trip deck, my motion fashion. I paired it with the only jacket I seem to have in my closet and got some shut-eye for the trip. We arrived at about 6 AM, giving us a good 4 hours before our flight. After my dad heroically pulled out the trolley, he went on to do other airport dad stuff, such as playing Tetris with the luggage, pushing the trolley, and trying to argue with a machine. You might be wondering, what am I doing to contribute? Is the only other macho, strong figure in the house? Well, I was given the vital responsibilities of sitting with my grandparents so I don't wander off and get lost while protecting the other luggage. No one else could have done this trying task. Alas, it was all up to me. Our check-in bags were whisked off and then we went on for food. During the walk there, I had to explain to my mom luggage lore.
你知道有一些人啊，他故意买一种 brand 的有钱人的 bag， 是故意给他很多 dents 的，因为他 signify 你的 wealth， 因为他 signify 你去了很多地方。所以我们每次笑嘛，讲为什么那些有钱人的 bag 也是一样被人家挤进去啊？他们讲是故意的，他们要我。
We went to Oriental Coffee for food. I was told not to eat much since I was gonna have a luxurious meal at a lounge later on. So against the demands of my grumbling stomach, I only had half an egg tart. I couldn't wait for my fancy moment at the lounge. Feasting away, even the word sounds pretentious. Lounge. I love it. This is so rich core. Elon Musk is sobbing. And the lounge was closed. I had McDonald's instead.
吃的是饭，不是菜。
其实也是没有营养的啦。
什么没有营养？菜
This is the height of luxury! Luckily for Malaysians, we got to skip this whole line process because we have this cool robot self-do thing instead. I know airport terms. Then came the most stressful part of airports, the X-ray thing, where you have to hurriedly slam all your devices into a tray and walk through a metal detector with 200 security guards watching. I think you know that I have some bad experiences with this part. Last time, when I was 13 and I came back from Taiwan, I was stopped here because I brought a huge bag of rocks back with me. Like just rocks, like 20 fucking rocks in my bag. Souvenirs were so expensive, so I planned to just give my friends rocks from Taiwan. The airport lady let me do it though because I seemed relatively harmless. Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, you know. That was just a silly little mistake. The second time, I had a knife in my bag. A big one. It got confiscated, which is a shame because it was a really nice knife. I honestly just forgot it was in there. This time, I did not get stopped for having weapons in my Totoro tote bag. So that was nice. Our gate was called Gate L, which could not be more fitting. I was put in bag watch duty again. Oh my god, Cillian Murphy. We got to use this moving floor escalator that I still believe should replace all the roads so no one ever has to drive again. But alas, that's just me. No, it broke. Maybe that's a flaw in my belief. But anyways, we got to our gate L. I did the classic scan around to check for any signs of kids that might cause a ruckus. There was a baby here and there, some toddlers scattered around. I'm realizing I'm describing them like rodents, but this was inevitable, so I could only sit there in anxiousness, hoping that there would be not too much loud crying. I would eat those words. I drew on my crusty iPad while waiting. Here's a piece I've been working on, and by that I mean I drew this consistently for 2 days straight and then gave up because I have a condition called afraid to finish thingism, paired up with what if I start a new project right nowism? 9 a.m. struck and we were told to go on board. During this, I noticed that the baby and toddler that were a bit fussy and their parents were walking quite far away from us. And I thought, magnifique! I will probably not be seated next to this ticking time bomb, joy of life. As we got there and sat down, I prayed to the sky that we would have a quiet flight. But the winds must have carried my voice away. Because the baby and the toddler sat right in front of me! What are the chances of that? What are the chances of that? Minimal chances. It's not that the sky didn't hear me. I think the sky misheard me, which is worse. Disclaimer, no shame to the parents at all. It's stressful, I get it. No judgment to them, the mom was trying her best. I am just baffled at my luck. Honestly, the only thing I'm judging is the dad. We legit thought that he was a complete stranger unrelated to the mom and their kid because he did nothing while she was trying to take care of them and keep them quiet. He didn't talk to them. He didn't acknowledge them. He just looked at his device, ate and napped while homegirl was stressed out. When did it end? All the enjoyment. It also wasn't that bad for me because I was passed out a majority of the flight. My mom called it a superpower, that I could just turn off my brain like that and sleep. I call it escapism and the result of barely sleeping for days on end. But who's to say the truth? I only woke up for the food, and I don't know what people mean when they say that airline food is bad, because the airline food on this flight slaps so hard. The toddler fell asleep too, so we became more quiet, ignore me trying to poke it for fun. I ate and then I slept. This is what life should just be, to eat and to sleep. All the videos I had downloaded, did not watch a single one. I was knocked out unconscious. The baby was like my personal snooze alarm clock. It rang every 30 minutes to jostle me awake. And the toddler provided excellent commentary too. Finally, after 5 hours of being trapped in a metal tube with the plain equivalent of a siren that beckons me to jump off and kill myself, we had a peaceful landing. I thought hell was over, but I forgot that a landing would make a toddler excited and the baby scared. So now it was Act 2 of Noise the musical. Then the kids started throwing threats at the baby. I thought the wait to get off the plane would be boring, but these two provided excellent entertainment. The baby kept wanting to close the window, but the toddler stopped it because the airplane lady told us to keep it open. So they were just taking turns like closing it and opening it back up each time like a choreographed dance. And they would get increasingly more annoyed and pissed at each other. Finally, we could get off, and what an exciting moment it was. Honestly, I think compared to other countries, it wasn't too shocking of a change, since I could still read the signs and understand the language. Speaking of that, did you know that every Malaysian Chinese person who goes to Taiwan or China may modify their accent to fit in more? We have very different accents. I would say that theirs sound more accurate to the pinyin, while we're more like fuck the pinyin. I will rap this language monotonely, and you will have to guess what I mean based on the context. One time, a person from Taiwan commented on my video where I spoke Chinese with my mom, saying that they were so confused because they could only understand a few phrases at a time, and it felt like bobbing your head out of the surface of the water for moments of clarity before sinking back into confusion. We got onto the travel car that brought us to our destination. I did not realize my mom was recording here, but you can see my fingers basically fly around my phone because I was typing a really long essay because drama in the group chat. I love the way it feels to be a hater. It seems that timing is not on my side. But then I stopped being chronically online and put it aside to focus on the trip. Look, Taiwan car, Taiwan tree, oh my god, Taiwan tissue paper. Sometimes it baffles me how similar so many countries are across the globe. We are so far apart, and yet we are in a way just alternate dimensions of each other, and I find that pretty cool. Local Southeast Asian YouTuber just ended xenophobia. Whoa! We got to our place to stay, and oh my god, we will never escape our colonizers. After a King Charles Court jump scare, I had a look around the fancy equipment in the bathroom that I have no idea how to use. I also had no idea that we were given an air mattress. After settling down, we began to walk the streets of Taiwan. We came across the Lagabata crossroad, which my parents just pointed to and then pointed at me like this. Thanks guys, I love it here. My father has the dad walk style. It's happening guys, it's all over. There was such a long line for a lot of the food. The juice one was apparently LGBT friendly, which is a nice sentiment. But the image in my head at first was that they somehow had a Lagabata detector, like a metal detector. And if it was unfriendly and I walked under it, it would just start blaring slurs and the staff there would just throw the drink at your face. So I am from Malaysia, and the topic of a Lagabata staff here is it's kinda so it was pretty surreal to be in a country that was accepting of this community. It felt safe, which was weird, but in a good way. On a serious note, I was very hesitant to take a picture with the crossroad at first because I still have this instilled, fear since I'm growing up and living here. But I got over my fear and I took the pictures and I think they looked great. So hooray! I'm very happy for the Lagabata community in Taiwan. I hope everything will just get even better and safer in the future for you all. And I should probably stop saying Lagabata, but it's really funny. Now back to silliness. Oh my god, the noodles were so good. Everyone on the streets looked like they walked out of a Vogue fashion magazine. I was not dripped up and I had just come from a 5-hour flight. I did not feel bonita at all compared to them. And also, fun fact, I bumped into my primary school friend here. I have not seen her in like 6 years. And what are the chances? It's Sophia from my crush video. Aww. I think she was with her boyfriend though, so Gate L. So that basically wraps up my first day in Taiwan. Sorry for the wait, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I filmed a lot there, so do look forward to more videos in Taiwan. coming fast and coming hard. I hope you enjoyed this one. Shout out to Taiwan and Vietnam and Singapore. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, airplane plunge.